as I told before, we are going to make one international interview, one more international interview here, but I will make also a small introduction in Portuguese for my Portuguese followers, as here today to talk with one of the most known co-drivers in the world, in the all-terrain drivers. It is with Max Delfino we are going to talk today. But I will make a small introduction. Max, allow me just 1 minute to make the introduction in Portuguese. Portanto, hoje,
Olha.
mais uma vez, uma entrevista exclusiva 16 válvulas, entrevista internacional, com o apoio naturalmente também da TTzão e também do Motores, para vos dizer que hoje vamos falar de todo o terreno com um dos navegadores mais experientes do mundo, a nível do todo o terreno, como eu digo, Max Delfino está hoje connosco, vem falar um bocadinho dele, vem falar um bocadinho de todo o terreno e quem sabe de planos futuros, é uma entrevista em inglês. So, introduction is done. Mr. Max, it is a great pleasure and I welcome you. And for the moment, I will no longer treat you like a Mr. Max, but you are the Max and you are here as our guest. I hope that you are hearing me well. Everything is okay, Max?
Yeah, for me, everything is okay. It's warm home, so I'm good.
Okay. So, as I told before, we are going to talk about, in this case, two teams. We're going to talk about the past, but also about the present and the future. So, my first question, Max, and I'm sure you can help me, you can give us an information about why are you at all terrain, as to say, TT. Here in Portugal, we call it todo terreno. But when it all began in making in sand races, or it was an accident and you were doing something else like the Trophy and Rose or quelque chose?
No. Things I was a child with my parents. I always go off road and in tout terrain, as we said in France. But it
Yes.
was just as a pressure, as a hobby. And after my previous job was in the French Air Force. I was navigator in the French Air Force, captain and navigator. And once I had the opportunity, it was 18 years ago. My father was in the orga of a rally in Morocco. And
Okay.
the director of the rally was looking for someone to be able to draw a road book, because the guy which was in charge of the job has an issue with a family issue. And by chance, I was home with my father, and I offer my
Expertise,
myself,
for example.
yeah,
Okay, with
yeah,
your
to,
expertise at the Air
yeah,
Force or the.
to help them to drive to draw the road book. It was in 2008, and
It was
so
your first road book, or you have already tried in at home to do it?
no, it was my first road book, because the organizer, it was for the Outback Challenge. It doesn't not exist anymore. There have been only 3 editions, but it's a race which comes from Australia, and they didn't want a standard FIA road book, but they wanted something totally different. So we create something which didn't exist before and doesn't exist now anymore. So it was something very different and designed for this race. So I made it. The guy was happy with my job, so I did it two years in '08 and '09, and
Okay,
on the first
but you
edition
also
in '08,
participate to see how it works. You have got to be at that
I
stage,
was I
or
was in the
only
orga.
just
I was in
okay.
the orga in '08, and that's why I met some.
And
That's
how it
why
was.
I started.
One thing is being in the outside, making the drawings, but being there, screening for your driver, and also seeing the speed that it takes. It was a completely different world, but it for you it was that easy.
It was not so difficult. It was different because I was used with being with giving a cap and information to my pilot. As a navigator in the aircraft, it was my job to speak with the pilot, etc. But after, when you are on the ground, the way of navigating is a bit different. So I had to adapt a bit, but it was not so difficult for me to transfer my abilities from the air to the ground. And
Okay.
the pilot was happy with that. And after one more, and I
And
start
what?
like that.
And once you started, it was easy for you to continue improving, also learning from other co-drivers and trying to get your own style. Can you tell us something about your past until nowadays for how it was evolving?
Uh, I've always done my own style. I've not learned from other co-driver. I learned from my experience in the aircraft, and I transpose my experience in the aircraft to the car. But I'm still now. I'm keep going, progressing. You are never at the top. You have always something to learn more. So every time I made a mistake, for me it's a lesson, and I try with the procedure to avoid to do one more time this mistake. I really apply what I did in the air. Now on the car in the air, the spirit is that the mistake is not allowed. So you have to create procedure to avoid the mistake or to detect the mistake before it has an impact on the race, on the mission. So that's exactly what I did. So every time I meet some new situation where I have to face, and I try to make a procedure to avoid that.
Okay, perfect. And you always used only the tout-terrain, comme vous avez dit, or have you tried some other competition where you can put your expertise in other competitions, like
I,
rallies,
I
for example?
I tried only 3 times rally. It was in 2020 during the COVID, but because there were no more rally red, so I have done three in 2020, and it was with the Portuguese guy, João Pereira, which live close to my home in south of France. But uh, it's a totally different job. I was an expert in rally red, but when you switch to normal rally, like WRC type, it's totally different. So you have to start from the beginning to learn another job. And I didn't like it that much. So after I stopped. It was interesting to have another point of view on the work of co-driver, but it's not my favorite kind of rally.
Okay, yeah, I believe so. And you also have teach or even coached other co-drivers with your own style, as you said before, because we know a lot of French co-drivers, a lot of names, and very one of more known, for example, Mathieu Baumel, for example, it's the first name that I can recall. But there are a
Yeah.
lot of other French co-drivers. There are great, great co-drivers. Did you have the opportunity to teach for a new generation to explain how your way of co-driving?
Yes. Now I have a training school for co-driving because in the Air Force I was instructor, navigator instructor. So I have the knowledge on how to explain things and the expertise about navigation. And it was not my target at the beginning, but people start to ask me question, how you do this, how you do it, can you explain me? And it was more easy for me to explain in a real situation. So I start to draw small road book around home and say to the people, come home and I will explain you how it works. And I had a lot of demand, so I start to make my own school of code writing. And
Okay.
I had some famous co-driver coming home. The most famous, but he stopped before starting. He came one. It was Julien Ingracia.
Oh,
It
gracias.
came, yeah, he came 4 years ago. He was supposed to go to the Dakar, so he came home to have a training. He was very good as a co-driver in cross country, but he never went to the Dakar.
Okay. My question, obviously, now it was the time for stopping talking about the past. We're going to talk about this year, but also about the future. We have already seen you winning this year in 2026 with the Nasser, and I would like to know which is your program for this year. What are you planning? Doing more stages with the Nasser and try to win again? It was. This was the second race that he made. He won both with Dakar and then with this Baja, as to say. But for yourself, Max, which are your plans for 2026?
So this year with Nasser, we have done the Ail Baja, where we won with Nasser, as you said, and after we have done the Jordan Baja with
Okay.
Nasser. We won in the Middle East Championship because we were running in the Middle East Cup, but not overall because we had some
So
issue.
two races with Nasser so
Yes,
far. Okay, and
yes,
winning
yes.
both. Okay.
Winning in the Middle East Cup. But the
Yes.
first one we won overall, and the second one we finished for overall because an issue on the fuel injection, but doesn't matter. So my plan with Nasser is to do all the Middle East Championship. So there are 4 Baja. We have already done 2 Baja, and the 2 next Baja will be Qatar and Dubai at the end of the year. On
Okay.
the Optimus that Nasser bought us in the Dakar.
So, and the other races, you are going to make more or only racing with Nasser, with
No, no,
Optimus?
no. I do as much races as I can do. So I do only the Middle East Championship with Nasser,
Only
but
that. Okay.
yeah, but I'm keep going co-driving Simon Witz, the guy
Oui.
which I won the 2-wheel drive category in the Dakar 2026. So
Okay.
next race will be in Morocco, the Qatar Rally with Simon.
Mhm.
And after with Simon, we'll do the Baja Morocco in September
Okay.
to practice together. And after the Dakar 27 with Simon.
Okay, I'm asking this because we have at our chat one Portuguese question, and to know if you are coming with Simon here to Portugal to make the ride, in this case for the W2RC here in Portugal with the Optimus. That was the question, but I believe you have already.
No, I can just say why I don't go to Portugal. I don't know I don't see you.
Sorry, Max, the connection is failed again. But I was asking if you will be here in Portugal, but I believe you will
No, but
not
I
be here.
explain why we won't be in Portugal because the Optimus is a 2-wheel drive car and it's really designed for the off-piste off-road rally. And in Portugal, with a 2-wheel drive, you cannot fight. On the European Baja, you cannot fight. It's better to have a T3 or a T1 plus or 4-wheel drive car. So the car is not designed for European rally. So that's why we go to Morocco or
Okay,
rally like
but
that.
are you racing also here in Europe or making some other races or only Middle East as you told me before?
No, me,
With
I'm ready
Simon,
to.
Simon, and also Nasser.
Simon and Nasser, that's 2 people which are already booked. But
Yes,
I'm looking for other driver. For example, BP Ultimate would
yes,
like
that's
to go
it.
to the BP Ultimate, but I'm looking for a driver. If a driver is interesting with the co-driver, I'm free for BP Ultimate or some other Baja like Baja Aragon or Baja Portalegre. I love those races.
Okay. What can you tell me? Because you are racing with two different kind of drivers, as to say, and I believe you can give me your information and your opinion. But what can you tell us about Nasser for one side, that we all know this winning side because he races and wins in rally and also in all terrain, for as to say. But also with Simon, they are completely different. What can you tell us about each of one of them?
Both are very good driver, but for sure Nasser has an expertise that Simon doesn't have yet. And maybe I think that Simon in 20 years will have the same expertise as Nasser, and Simon only does 3 races a year, and Nasser do 3 years a month. So that's normal that Nasser is a higher level than Simon, but Simon is very clever, and I think an asset for everybody, not only driver or co-driver, is your ability to learn and to try to do better. Never think that you are the best, you are at your level, but you want to learn and try something new. And I think that Nasser reached this level because of that. But
Okay.
Nasser is a really easy driver because he understands everything, and it's easy to co-drive Nasser.
Obviously with his expertise. And what about this strange, as to say, for looking for the first time for this Optimus? It is a car in your side in the co-driving, very difficult to be understood, or you think it is the finest car in racing, as to say, if you have to describe this Optimus?
For me, Optimus is the best car for rally raid because it's very simple, very comfortable, and you have fun in a two-wheel drive. On a four-wheel drive, it's harder, so you have some time to fight. When you finish a stage on T1 Plus on Toyota, you are like exhausted because it's hard car. With the Optimus, it's very smooth, soft, and you are not as tired that on a T1 Plus. For me,
And
the two-wheel drive is my favorite category.
and for your work, as to say, because you have got to replace some wheels if it is necessary for mechanical use, but also for the road book and all the navigation system around you, it is very easy for you to use it there in the Optimus.
The navigation is the same in the Optimus or two-wheel drive. My only job I have to do in the Optimus that I've not on a four-wheel drive is to manage the tire pressure. Because
Yeah.
on the two-wheel drive you can adjust the rear pressure of the tire. So it's my job. I have this task more than a four-wheel drive. But after, for the rest, the mechanic is more easy on a two-wheel drive. You have no gearbox, you have no drive shaft. You have drive shaft, but no prop shaft, no front axle. So it's more easy. And the space in the two-wheel drive is
That's
wider
it.
because you don't have the engine and the gearbox in the middle, so it's more comfortable. Less hot because you don't have the heat of the gearbox and the engine, so it's uh, more fresh. It's better.
All advantages, I see. So, one of my last question will be about the future, because we have talking about the past, we have talking about these present days, and what about the future? What do you want to do before hanging out the gloves and also balaclava and all the helmet? Is there something in your mind, in your desire, in the dreams that you want to accomplish before retirement?
My my dream for years was once to finish in the top 10 of the Dakar. I never
Now you
managed
win.
to do it. So my best result have been 13. This year we have done 15, but now with a T1 Plus, it's very hard to reach the top 10 on the two-wheel drive. But with Simon, we are really working on it. I've seen that co-driving Nasser, the car is able to fight in front, to fight with the Toyota T1 Plus. So we really would like to reach the top 10 with Simon next year. And maybe for the next year, if I can reach to have a seat in a professional team, would be nice.
Okay, but
But I'm
for
really happy with Simon.
okay, I believe so. But is no way for you to race with the Nasser at Dakar, because he has the his competition plans with the Sunrise and Dacia, and it's completely different for you. Don't have a chance to race with him,
I don't know.
or
For till now, we never spoke about that. With Nasser, my job is really clear. Only the Middle East Championship. Nasser is in contract with Fabian. As far as I know, Fabian is a great co-driver. He has no problem with Nasser, so I don't see. But I don't. You know that the co-driver never choose where they go. it's up to the driver to shoot the co-driver.
It's a call.
Always
it's call.
Yeah, it's a call or meeting on a race, but I'm waiting,
Okay.
but I don't think so. It's not the plan.
Okay. Bart's last question is about Portugal and Portuguese drivers and Portuguese co-drivers. We teach, I don't know if you have already been here in Portugal, but I would like to know what your opinion is about Portugal and the Portuguese drivers and also the all-terrain Portuguese.
I have been several times in Portugal. I've been to the Porto Alegre. I have been to the BP Ultimate last year. We finished second in the BP Ultimate with Charles Munster. I think we have been cut.
Sorry, you have seen, and I'm finishing here, but your opinion on Portugal. You have said that you have been already sometimes here in Portugal, but I didn't hear what you were saying.
Yeah, I've been several times. Last year I was with on a Taurus with Charles Munster. We finished second in the BP Ultimate. I've been the 24 hours. I've done many races. And for me, Portugal is great. What I love in Portugal is the public, the population. Everybody is happy along the track. They are doing barbecue, waiting for you under the rain. And they are totally crazy when we do the power stage at the end of the beginning of the track. I really love Portugal because of the public.
And about the drivers, is there any name
And
that
the driver,
yes,
the
if you
driver
remember.
are very good. Yes, last year we just lose the BP Ultimate behind Gonzalo Guerrero.
That's it.
So they are very good co-driver. Even last year I was in T4 and we were fighting with Pinto. I don't remember his first name.
Alexander.
Portugal is the nest of very good drivers.
Okay.
Driver and co-driver also.
Obviously.
We are competing. I think France, Spain, and Portugal are competing all together at the same level, but with the championship in Spain and Portugal, I think drivers maybe are better or are numerous than the French one. So
okay,
but it's nice to have fight.
And for us, it's also nice to hear from the person abroad, giving us the insight about us, the drivers and the co-drivers, the Portuguese co-drivers. So, Max, I will take no more time for you. I hope that you enjoyed the sun. I see it behind you. That is a good day there. And I hope that you enjoy it. And it was a great pleasure for me to have you here in 16 Válvulas from Portugal. We will be always at your disposable if you want to return. It is a pleasure for us to receive you again, and I hope that you have the best of luck to be here at our Portuguese the BP Ultimate, and we are fingers crossed for you to be here, and I hope the best. But for the opportunity, I must thank you for this opportunity. Max, it was a pleasure.
Obrigado, it was a pleasure for me to be with you.
Merci beaucoup. Obrigado.
See you.